What's good, unapologetic gang? So today I'm going to talk to you guys about baddies. Now, there's a song like she's a bad man, just bad, but not bad to the bone, but bad. And as I sit here and I think about what it is to be bad, I'm taking somebody else's suggestion, and she said, you need to sit down and you need to write down your future self. Like, what is your perfect person in your skin? What does she look like? So when we get to this space about being bad, we recognize there are some people that just can't be in the circle. There are some people are genuinely not serving us. Some people are not of good faith measure. You understand? Some people are just not good for us. In other words, toxic. Some people are actually causing, levels and levels of stress, instability, and we got to start trimming those out. This is what it is to start trimming fat. A lot of times trimming fat is us. We're the reason that we're fat. We're the reason that, and not just fat in a sense like where we have excess, but maybe where we don't have enough. And there is no place of there is no meat. We have to start trimming that. So looking at sometimes, like I shared in a previous post, it's the beginning of the year, we have to get into relationships. I've been in several, in communication with a lot of people who they just want to change their life. They want to expand their way of thinking. They want to see what, they're so used to. They're accustomed to one type of life. Let's just call it the world. Some are just saying, I just have friends and we go out and we drink every weekend. And, it's nice to have them on that level, but I want something more, so I'm moving. But the thing is, we can move, but if all we know is just going to follow us, is not in our heart, and we're not genuinely gravitating at least one or two areas of life of people that are in our thinking, it's just going to be the same thing. It's going to be honestly, I don't like to say that. I don't like to say it's that. I don't want that. That's not my wish for anyone. But let's be 120%. That's how it is. If we don't get into a space where we're really looking and moving forward and starting to execute properly with complete strategies, then there is no purpose of that. This had been one of my trimming fats. I am all about I can't speak. I am all about activation and moving out of validation because we've been validated for a long time. A lot of the moves and things that we're wanting to take, the leaps of faith, the jumps, the parachutes, these all come from spaces within us that we have already been validating for, I don't even know. But to be honest, only God knows. Only God knows. In that space of validation, you're just like, yeah, that's not right? I should leave, right? I don't like this job, right? And just sitting there and picking up the same, empty glass. You need to fill it. You need to fill it with something else. So if we're the reason sometimes that we're fat, if we're the reason, and let me explain this to you guys really quickly. If you didn't watch the previous video. So Donald Trump, at the beginning of the year of COVID in 2020, I had to move out of my house. I had God told me to leave. The Spirit of the Lord said leave. I said, what? Holy Ghost said leave. I didn't know what to do. I was like, my class, what? So anyway, I had to get rid of all my books. I left all the way from one spot to a different country, and I had to get rid of all of my books. So the best thing I could do during this waiting time of like, okay, what's happening, was to prepare. So I started reading books on controversial people. I just want to, what are they saying? And you guys know who maybe don't know me, I like to listen to multiple opinions. Doesn't mean I have to believe it or accept it, but I need to listen. I need to listen because in life, either being ignorant does not make you innocent. It makes you vulnerable, right? ITM Lynette Zhang. So that's one of the things that I want to remain informed. And Donald Trump talked about, trimming the fat in business meetings. I read the book online on YouTube, so this is where I'm going with that. I started listening to YouTube videos about audiobooks. You guys know I'm all about audiobooks. I try to listen to as many as possible. If I'm not lost in the Bible because I'm starving and I need food, and I need meat, or sometimes I feel like a baby and I need milk, depending on the day and depending on what area of God I'm seeking. But in Donald J. Trump's book, Think Like a Billionaire, he talked about trimming the fat. Trimming the fat is in business meetings. You want to go ahead and just get down to the bottom line. Oh yeah, how's it going? You can't just how's your wife? How's this? That's not all the time. So if we're looking at a space of baddies, who is the bad woman? Is she going to sit there at a business meeting and talk for 5 hours? Same thing with your life. Your life is a business. It's about business. It's about God. It's about your family. It's about the things that God has promised you. It's about executing to your mission and your assignment. It's about having fun. It's about living a prosperous life. So everything outside of that is fat. All of that is fat. Everything outside of that is fat. So it's time to cut it. So what kinds of things are we going to look toward? As we're building this one profile, how are we handling relationships and what's got to get cut out? Sometimes the relationships is not just other people, it's a relationship with you. You are your own relationship. How do we get up and out of that? How do we get up and out of that space? I want to show you guys, this is where I am riding my bike because I needed to get some exercise. Hey. And this was just so important to me. It was so heavy upon my spirit. I was talking with someone, and this is what my coaching sessions look like, right? And what happened, and I'm cutting fat out of my own life, and that's a daily experience. I learned that the fat that I had was sometimes my own emotions getting in the way. I learned that my own fat was sometimes the fact that I wasn't really learning to budget. Yeah, like I shared with you in a previous video in my finances, I was producing, right? How do you invest in stocks and other assets and, produce a book? That was